Here are some questions with brackets. Remember, we need to use reverse BIMDAS or BODMAS, and we need to do things to both sides of the equations to keep the equations balanced. So in the first question, I'm going to solve for b and trying to work out what b is worth. Now you'll notice that there is a bracket with a b minus 2 in it and a 7 outside, remembering of course that there is a multiplication sign between the 7 and the bracket, even though it's not shown. So what we need to do is get rid of the 7 first, because it's outside the bracket and everything else is inside. So 7 multiplied by b minus 2 equals 35. What I will do is divide both sides by 7, keeping the equation balanced. I can cancel those two 7s. They produce the answer 1. So 1 times the bracket still stays the bracket. So we've got b minus 2. And we don't really need to write the bracket anymore, but I've done it there. It's 35 divided by 7 is 5. So what's left is b minus 2 equals 5. Okay, now I need to get rid of the 2 because it's the only thing that's left that's stopping b being the subject or being by itself. So let's do the opposite of subtracting 2, which is adding 2 to both sides. These two subtract or combine to make 0. So that means what's left is b equals 7. If I check my answer up here, I will have 7 multiplied by 7 minus 2. 7 minus 2 is 5. 7 times 5 does actually equal 35. The next question is fairly similar. 5 times a bracket equals 9. So we need to get rid of the 5 outside the bracket first. So 5 h plus 3 equals 9. Divide both sides by 5. Cancels here. So h plus 3, don't need the bracket on that side anymore, equals 9 over 5. So what we need to do now is subtract 3 from both sides so that we can get h by itself, or if you want, make h the subject. So let's subtract 3 from both sides. On the left hand side, plus 3 and minus 3 make 0. So all that's left is just h. On the right hand side, we've got a problem. We've got 9 over 5 minus 3. We need to do that by fractions. So 3 is the same as 3 times 5, 15 over 5. So it's 9 over 5 take away 15 over 5. That's the same as minus 6 over 5, or 1 and 1 minus 1 and 1/5. This question is going to be fairly similar, except that there's a decimal and a minus 2 out the front. Again, the minus 2 is multiplied by the bracket. So we're going to get rid of the minus 2 out the front first. And I'm just going to divide both sides by minus 2. And the minus 2 and the minus 2 here cancel to make 1. So what's really left is 1 times the bracket. I don't need to keep the bracket anymore because there's nothing outside the bracket. So 1t plus 1.2 is equal to 10 divided by minus 2, which is minus 5. Now I need to eliminate the 1.2. So it's added on. So the opposite of adding on is to subtract 1.2 and subtract it from both sides. When I do that, 1.2 minus 1.2 is 0, so all that's left is t. So t is actually going to be minus 6.2. Because both of those are negatives, they actually end up increasing the negative value. Let's just quickly check our answer. So minus 2 multiplied by minus 6.5 plus 1.2. Well, minus 6.5 plus 1.2 is minus 5. Minus 5 multiplied by minus 2 is equal to 10, so it works.